Welcome to another NEBA Spotlight. Today, I'm very happy to present to you Sally. Sally, tell us about your business.
Good morning again, everybody. Sally Chetwynd here. I am Brass Castle Arts. I'm a wordsmith. I do copywriting, content writing, editing, books and blogs. Anything that has to do with words, I provide literary services to polish your gem. So, in the interest of time, we'll just scoot along here. So, I'm originally from South Berwick, Maine, a very small town at the very southern tip of the state, and I've been writing since I could hold a pencil. I love this picture of my next older brother and me. Definitely a grim duo. Um, so I have a lot of interests in history and music and cooking and engineering and writing. I have two books that I've published, novels. I'm working on a nonfiction book called Beyond End of Watch, which is about police families surviving a line of duty deaths. And I'm also working on a historical novel about Nicodemus. He was one of the Jewish council that tried Jesus, and he didn't just dismiss Jesus as another blasphemous crackpot. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. So what do I mean by polish your gem? Every business has written materials to communicate its mission and services. My passion is to help you polish that gem when it's hidden inside vague text. I got to get back to posting a weekly wordsmith wisdom on LinkedIn, writing and editing tips. Some people have asked me, do you lose potential clients when you show them how to do it themselves? And I say no, because most people have enough work running their businesses. They don't have time to invest in building writing chops. So my tips can make them aware of little things to refine their content before handing it off to someone like me for a professional polish. The better shape their work is in, the less time an editor spends on it, and that's more budget friendly as well. So, first drafts. Here's the flying spaghetti monster. He's kind of scary. So, first drafts, including mine, they resemble the flying spaghetti monster. It's messy, it's disorganized, it's confusing, and abstract. So we need to revise your material before you hand it off to a colleague for review, or you can hire an editor, but get it edited by a human, not digital software. So you want to communicate as clearly as possible. Nobody, including me, produces error-free content. Every work needs review by fresh eyes. An editor helps you see the forest for the trees. Typos, errors in grammar and punctuation, poor paragraph construction, these distract the reader from your message. These can be costly if they don't say what you need to say. We'll see a pricey example of that in slide 10. Spell check and grammar check software are unreliable. Often it's just plain wrong. Um, yeah, I got in touch with Microsoft about their grammar check, and they said, well, we're not responsible for other programs. Okay. So, education and English usage has been declining for over 60 years. Most students coming out of high school and college today, they can't tell you what an adjective is or the difference between present tense and past tense. A misplaced participle example. A participle or a participle phrase modifies something in a sentence. So here's an example from an article about a valuable auction item. Flora Steele fell in love with the rare Victorian brooch made of silver in 1988. In this sentence, in 1988 is a misplaced participle. It's modifying the word made, saying the brooch was made in 1988, which would not make it Victorian. The solution is to bring the in 1988 to the front of the sentence to modify when Ms. Steele fell in love with the brooch. So, refining your material to transmit your message quickly and efficiently. The more quickly and succinctly you get to the point in business content, the more your clients and prospects will appreciate you. They have better things to do with their time than to translate your mixed up message. Clients will respect your content when you present an uncluttered website and landing page, and you highlight products and services front and center. An economy of language directs the readers to your features faster. And have you ever considered how a business name reads as a domain name? Slide 12, wait for it, illustrates unintentionally inappropriate domain names of real businesses. So you need to document your research as you do it to streamline your work. It saves time and stress when you have to prove your resources. Passive and active language. Here's an example of passive language. Since 1973, John Doe Landscaping has been providing high quality, dependable landscaping services. We pride ourselves on being able to provide nearly any type of landscaping construction and maintenance service that you could need. And a more active way of saying it is, since 1973, John Doe Landscaping has provided high quality, dependable landscaping services. We pride ourselves on delivering all kinds of landscape construction and maintenance solutions. So I changed the passive is and be word forms, which soften language, to active verbs. I substituted providing and services with delivering and solutions, which eliminates repetition. And I deleted unnecessary words. So as a result, we have a punchier statement. So the idea is to let it percolate. Stick it in a drawer for a day or a week or a month. When you review it later, your eye and mind have objectivity. You find gaps in the topic's thread not obvious in the first round when you were capturing the theme and its details. You also find where to build on to improve the piece. The longer the piece, the longer it should sit. Different kinds of content to write and edit. This list contains many kinds of written material. Maybe you have topics for an industry-specific blog, or a book related to your profession, or you're writing a novel for fun. Whether for business or pleasure, don't let fear block you. Every one of us has a unique story to tell. Most of us have many. Put pen to paper and begin. Don't let any number of other excuses distract you from placing "but" in chair. Don't worry about things like the order of the sections or the chapters. Is it too long or is it too short? Or are you creating a perfect draft right out of the gate? Spoiler alerts: there's no such thing as perfection, and there's a reason we call that first scribbling a rough draft. You can't develop, edit, revise, or polish a document you haven't yet written. For want of a comma, the wording of Maine's state law regarding employee exemptions from overtime pay was missing a serial or Oxford comma. Without the comma, the drivers were included in work activities not in their job description. In this case, packing the product. The drivers did not pack the product, they delivered it only. In 2019, Maine's legislature amended the law to include the comma. So they didn't have to spend $5 million to 130 drivers anymore. So here's another difference that commas make in the meaning of a statement. Among those interviewed were Merle Haggard's two ex-wives, Kris Kristofferson and Robert Duvall. Who's going to break the news to them? So with serial comma, it's clear that four persons were interviewed: Haggard's two ex-wives and Kristofferson and Duvall. And I don't think I want to go and visit Martha anytime soon. So here are those inadvertently dirty domain names. Admit it, you've been waiting for them. The naughty primeval lobes of our minds gleefully latch onto the vulgar before our internal censors can wrest back control. This should raise your awareness of what to consider in a domain name. Strategically placed periods or dashes would have prevented this romp in the gutter.
Sally, I'm so sorry we're out of time. How do people get a hold of you to learn more?
Well, we'll go down to the last page. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Sally. Reach out to Sally to learn more, okay?